today we're talking to Abby Dodge. Abby's a widely respected baking expert, a food writer and instructor. She's studied in Paris and has authored 8 books. Her recipes and articles have appeared in dozens of blogs, websites, cookbooks, and publications including Bon Appetit magazine. She's a contributor to Fine Cooking magazine, a regular guest on TV and radio, and teaches cooking around the country. It's my pleasure to introduce Abby Dodge. Abby, thanks for coming today.
It's my pleasure, Tessa. Thanks for having me.
Not at all. I'm actually very excited by this because I am not a cook, but felt like this is called Desserts for today. It's because it's got 4 ingredients. So tell us about this and you'll explain why this is exciting to me.
Well, exactly. Well, Desserts for today, it's 125 recipes and each dessert has only 4 ingredients. And I thought it would be the perfect book to bridge those beginner bakers with the more experienced bakers. Because if you're not used to baking in the kitchen, pretty much anybody can handle 4 ingredients.
Right.
And then for those people who have more experience, what they like about just the 4 ingredients is they can riff on those ingredients and on the recipe and take it, in different directions, however they want to do it.
Okay, no, I feel like I could handle 4 ingredients.
You can.
Yeah. Okay. And so tell us about your background. How did you get into baking?
Well, I've always been a baker. My mom and I used to bake together on Sunday afternoons. Mm-hmm. So I think I kind of came at this profession organically, really, and it just progressed, And my mom had always said that, when I grew up, I needed to follow my passion and have a job and a career that I really loved, mm-hmm. and food was always what I loved. Mm-hmm. So I set out to really, give myself a firm foundation in food. So I moved to Paris.
Wow.
And I like to tell people that I studied and I worked and then I ate my way through Paris and all the environ around. So
that's really a classical training.
Yes,
for baking.
And I did it for sweet as well as savory, so that knowing that dessert was kind of my thing, mm-hmm. I really wanted to have an overall foundation, classic French foundation, and then I immediately moved into the dessert and the pastry world back in the States. I worked in different French kitchens and for some, pretty high-profile French guys.
Does anybody ever ask you about the health, the calorie issues with baking and pastry? Is that something that people ask you about?
It's funny that you should say that because there's been a conversation online about this whole thing, especially mm-hmm. with cookbook authors. Should you include nutritional information with your recipes? And I really think that, number one, my overall theory for me as well as for my readers is that I think everything in moderation, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Whether or not it's a cake or a cookie, just have the small piece or mm-hmm. a piece. Right. Don't deny yourself because then you're just going to want it.
Yourself.
Yeah, you're just going to want it even more.
Right. And 4 ingredients, I felt that 4 bad ingredients, if it's just a little bit, is really a treat. And what are these that you brought for us today?
Oh, I brought along one of the most popular recipes from Desserts for Today. They are Nutella fudge brownies.
They look delicious.
4 ingredients: Nutella, mm-hmm. An egg,
okay,
a little bit of flour, and then on whatever you want to put on top. Mm-hmm. I put some little mini M&Ms, but you could put chopped hazelnuts, mini chocolate chips.
This is so pretty, though. I love this. This is really attractive.
I baked them yesterday, and I thought, don't they look happy? They just look happy.
They do look happy. And our cocktail today is a mint julep, which we'll get to in a little bit. But first, we have quite a lot to ask you because you're a chef, but you're also very integrated with social media. You're doing a fabulous job on your website.
Thank you.
Yes, with your blogging, and are you also tweeting?
I do.
Yeah.
I love social media.
Do you? Yeah.
I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. Pinterest is the new one.
Oh yeah, tell us about Pinterest.
Pinterest might just be my downfall, but because it's so much fun.
Is it really?
Yes, and it's basically like having your own online pin board of your favorite things. So favorite things aren't just for Oprah, they're for you and me and everybody. And you take, you pin onto your boards, your favorite cookbooks. And of course you're going to have one and you're going to say, desserts for today.
Is that not what you would be doing on your website anyway?
It's more of a group thing. And for instance, my Pinterest boards, I have cookbooks that I love, recipes from friends, drinks. Your drink will of course go on my Pinterest board. So it's more diverse and it shows kind of a more global, globally what I'm interested in, interior design, sports.
One of the things I noticed about your website is that you have a lot of comments on your blogs. Your blogs are just delightful. They actually read like, for the writers out there, they read like memoir, a mixture of cooking and memoir, and are very moving and very sweet, especially the pictures with your goddaughter where she's cooking.
My little Izzy.
Yeah, and you have a lot of engagement. I saw 32 comments on one.
Yes, well, I run this online community, a baking community, from on my blog, and I interact through Twitter and on Facebook with other like-minded, bakers and people, and so they come to my website and they look at these recipes. And again, it's kind of like desserts for today. I encourage people to take my recipes and do with them, switch them up and change them up to suit their tastes, to really, encourage people to get back into the kitchen. I think that one of the things that I love about baking, and I want to project to everyone out there, is that baking is really fun.
Yeah.
It not only is it therapeutic because of, the touching and the textile, aspect of it, but it's really fun. And to me, there's nothing more rewarding than sharing one of your desserts, even if it's just with 4 ingredients, with your family, with your friends. You've made it, you feel good about it, you feel good about yourself, your family feels great. Yeah. It's really fun.
Yeah, getting all these ingredients together for the cocktails was really, I had that sense. I think we get so focused on our business, or there's a lot going on today for all of us with this hyper-connected world, and so we need to take time maybe to stop and do that.
I think so. And it doesn't take a big time investment. Like this cocktail that we're making. It's not a big time,
it's quick.
Gouger.
No.
Just like the desserts for today recipes, that was another goal, was to keep them small. 4 ingredients is easily done in, anywhere from, these bake in 11 minutes. These
Do they?
The batter, you can literally whip up the batter in the time it takes to preheat the oven. So, in 15 minutes after you've left them cool for a minute or two, you have something that you can eat. And that's, that's nice, and it's good to remember that it doesn't have to be a massive
performance.
A massive project.
And what about the puddles? I saw an out for me if I was to try this and I got it all wrong.
I don't know what about the puddles.
On your website you have puddles, kitchen cooking puddles.
Oh,
it's a phrase.
It's a phrase. I like to tell people that, especially with children and baking and cooking with children.
Hence the puddles. Okay.
Puddles. I want them to step in the culinary mud puddles.
That's it. Yes.
And let them be kids and let them experiment and spill the flour and drop an egg.
Okay. It's okay to make a mess. It's okay to mess up.
Exactly. And it's okay to make mistakes.
Yes. Good.
Yes, because it's all part of learning, and as we know from going through school, you don't do very well on the first test, but come the second test, you do well.
Right.